Like walking in the rain and the snow, sleet and the snow. How we doing this evening, folks? I have to sharpen my camera. For some reason, it's out of focus. One moment. I don't know why, but it works. See? Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome to this Center of Light Burst broadcast titled From Sleeping with Eyes Open to Dreaming with Eyes Open. It's going to be a powerful broadcast. I'm going to get serious. I'm going to get open. Wait for some folks to collect. Welcome out. I think my beautiful 12-year-old boy is watching. So if you're watching, Eden Sky, your daddy loves you. Good to see you, my little man. Sleet and snow for a couple of days, and of course your dad's gonna come get you like always, and we can play. You helped me be a kid as well. Love it. Hello everyone in the room. If you would say hi, because sometimes Facebook is not always accurate about who is present. Let me know that you're here. I like knowing who's here. Facebook only says 3, but as I'm looking, hello Dana. I see 6 of you, 7 of you. Hello Dana, hello Fran, hello LaDonna, hello Sue, hello Amy. Hello Vincent. What's up, my brother? You doing okay? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're playing some music, bro. You're good at it. You need to always be doing it, my friend. Cool. Let's give it 3 more minutes. Right on the 10 after the 8. Let me turn some light on. It's a little yellow and red. So check this out, y'all. Boy, that was so southern. So check this out, y'all. Just got a green screen in. I got some really cool, powerful lighting. So I'm going to do kind of the chroma key green screen thing, so I can be anywhere in the world. I can be even in space. And I'll probably cater my backgrounds to whatever subject content. If I speak about aliens, I might put myself sitting on the moon or something. Hello, Allie. Hello, Dina. Wow, Dina, it's been forever. A couple of more minutes, we'll get started. So again, if my boy Eden Sky's here, what's up, little man? Eden Sky did a live presentation with me a few weeks ago, last week, I believe. And he did very, very well. In fact, he had some very simple wisdom to offer everyone, including myself. And I was like, wow, boy. He said, if you try to be happy and you try too hard and it's not working, throw that away. Just be yourself. Just be your glorious, beautiful self. Hello, Kenneth. All right, y'all, might as well get started. Thank you for hanging out. I'm on minus a few things so I can see what my notes are. First thing I would like to do is grab some links and drop it in the forum. Those links are to all my works, my radio show, my website, my lifelong program, RPM, that I'm offering to the public now. Wow. The third link is to all my creations, hard copies. YouTube, Center of Light Radio station, my movie, And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, and Do What You Love, A Path to Passionate Living, the movie about my life as a professional musician / best-selling author. Check those out, spread them around. It is how I do it, able to do what I do. Hello, Garrick. Hello, Keith Blanchard, my other me, my doppelganger, my twin brother. Feel free to share this to you all. The subject content is about how to expand into your bliss. From sleeping with your eyes closed to dreaming with your eyes, from sleeping with your eyes open to dreaming with your eyes open. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Let me say that again. From sleeping with your eyes open to dreaming with your eyes open. It's about getting out of the box and being able to truly see. The eyes and sight is part of it. But the other part is vision, perception, being able to take in information, not only with the eyes. Seeing is not only confined to the eyes. Seeing is hearing. Hello, Shelley. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Shelley. Hello, Garrick. Seeing is not only with the eyes. Seeing is a way of taking in information. Hearing, that's a form of seeing. Intuiting is a form of seeing. And I'm pretty confident by the end of this broadcast, you will see what I mean. So if you would share this to you all, again, please feel free to go to youtube.com/Center of Light Radio and subscribe to my page. This thing is growing. I'm doing feeds now. Right now, simultaneously, my feed is kicking butt on YouTube Live. And so this aspect of my spiritual work is growing, and I'm excited because it's moving at a very fast pace. I love empowering people. All right, let's get down to the broadcast. From sleeping with your eyes open to dreaming with your eyes open. Also, I want to make an announcement that I will not, please feel free to comment. I will not be liking your comments, and there's a reason for it. Hello, Robert. The reason I'm not liking your comments is because I will love them. But I've learned something called shadow banning. Anytime something looks spammy, they block you from being visible to the masses. So just know that when your comments come in, I am loving them with my heart. I'm doing it right now, so thank you for even being here. Please make comments because it helps create a dialogue that I can use during this broadcast to create further points that may help other people. A sad dynamic you might be going through, something awesome you might want to share that I can expound upon or echo. But I will not be liking your feeds, your comments, but know they are loved by me. I'm just trying to get a greater visible audience. So thank you for your understanding. I saw a Facebook post a little while ago. Someone lovingly made a post of one of Martin Luther King's sayings about this and that and this and that. And the comment response was, "We have got to get busy building up the military. We are not prepared for the smallest of nations at this point, much less that, North Korea." As I always say, get out of the fight. And I will repeat this every broadcast, get out of the fight. In that comment, in that paragraph, all that was not only fighting, but it was about fighting. We have got to get busy building up the military. We are not prepared for the smallest of nations, all fighting. At this point, much less that, North Korea. Fighting, fighting, fighting. There's a better way, and it's not the fighting. Fighting creates bumps and bruises on lumps on both parties' head. Doesn't work. It's like having sex to remain a virgin. Doesn't work. Does not work. And the reason I made this comment brought this up about this post was because, again, by the time we come to the end of this broadcast, hopefully you will see the point being made here about the fighting that we all do internally, whether we know we're doing it or not. It's like there's an unconscious script running in the back of our consciousness, and it is a vibrational component. And next thing you know, we locked steadfastly into watching the news, watching the news, watching the news. Well, I just watch the news. I don't really pay attention to it. If that vibrational sound is coming out of the TV and that vibrational picture is vibrating all throughout your house, it is affecting you. It is keeping you from dreaming with your eyes open and keeping you in sleeping with your eyes open. Hello, Jeanette. And we want to get out of being in the slumber. I do. And by the way, I saw a movie the other night called, and it's on Netflix, it's called The Men That Stare at Goats. Watch this movie. It's very informative about what does take place in the government as far as superhuman abilities. Psychic mind control called MK Ultra Mind Control. There is a race of being simply with their thought that is holding us at bay. Truth doesn't need anyone's permission to exist. There's a race of being just by mere thought they're holding us at bay. We call that the veil. But this is not about blaming them, because that's watering the weed and not the plant. That's still part of the fighting. But even though MK Ultra Mind Control might be happening, it's not about sleeping with our eyes open. It's about dreaming with our eyes open, because we have heart control. So that overrules the mind control. And when we begin to follow these sorts of models that I'm going to be bringing forth in this broadcast, we move through the ceiling of the mind control. Not only their mind control, because it's not about blaming them, but the part of our own minds that want to control. And the part of our own minds that want to control is what keeps us plugged in to everything else that represents control and fighting and bickering and all these negative connotation kinds of things. And it's not how we get out of sleeping into dreaming. Everything I have taught in these bursts of light all comes down to now, right now. It's about dreaming with your eyes open. We can, we could move out of saying don't, not, and no. When we say don't, not, and no, that is the equivalent. I heard this from my guest tonight on Center of Light Radio, Mr. Michael Lozier. He's been on Oprah 4 times, on Super Soul interviews. Phenomenal guest. Phenomenal. He is in the arena and playing in a big way. Moving and motivating a lot of people. Get out of saying don't, not, and no. Because when you say don't, not, or no, what we are doing in that moment, I understand and applaud that you want to move away from people who are no longer serving your life. People who are into drama, people who are into bickering, people who are into gossip, people who are into fighting. And I applaud your efforts to say, I no longer choose to be with these people. That's cool. But that is watering the weed and not the plant. So don't, not, and no is the equivalent of saying, I no longer choose to be around these people. Instead, affirm what you do by saying yes, 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 and begin to water the plant by saying, this is what I now choose, versus I no longer want to be a part of that. Because our attention is still on the don't. It's still on the no. It's still on the not. It's still on the negative. What do you want? Let's get down to business. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to ponder this. Just think about it. Ask yourself this question. What do I want? What do I really, really want? Stuff is cool. But if you can think of a feeling that is the umbrella of all the stuff you want, you might say, just, hey, you want a new job? New job. I want a new job. I want something that kicks ass. I want an awesome relationship. I want more financial abundance. Those are all cool things. And I'm not saying select that if that's what you want. See, I caught myself about to say, don't. This is how often we do it. But think of something you want. If you can use the word peace to be the umbrella of the car, the relationship, the job, the abundance. That's the gig. It's always about the feeling barometer. Feeling is the barometer. It always says when you are in alignment with all of it. So take this time for 30 seconds. Ask yourself the question, what is it I truly desire that will open my heart to be on fire? Ask yourself that. Hello, Trudy. Hello, Bryce. Hello, Astrid. Hello, LaDonna. Ask yourself the question, what is it I want? And you can have it. You can have it all. What is it you want? Here's my support. Try this. Watch what happens. I'm going to stick it out there. Something grandiose. A miracle. Let's use the word miracle. What is a miracle? Miracles are not that which happens to the fortunate few. They're everywhere. They're all around us. If everything is a reflection of ourselves, like a mirror, and through the mirror effect, we're trying to call that to us, that's called a miracle. Mirror call. A miracle. This is what you do. This is what I'm offering to you. Whenever you think about or write a note to yourself, what do I want? And put it all around your house. Take 30 seconds. Think about what it is you desire. Dream about it. We're moving from sleeping with eyes open to dreaming with eyes open. Dream about it. Be awake to it. Simple philosophy. Think about what I just said. Be awake to it. Just be awake to it. Dare yourself now to be more alive than you ever have allowed yourself to be. Say yes to you. Dream. Daydream. Tell yourself to dream about it when you fall into dreamscape. Heck, fantasize about it. Just get underway and make it begin. Begin the process. It's all around you. It's not in some distant locale gazillions of light years away. That is not the truth. God is omnipresent, present everywhere in all places at all times. It's in this pendant. It's in this shirt. It's in the sound you're hearing from my voice. It's you taking it in. It's the chair you're sitting on. It's everything. So everything we need is there. It's called grace. The chair that is holding your ass up off of that floor is called grace. That same grace wants to seep into your experience in every possible way and give you all those things that you want, even more so than the chair. Because you really don't want the chair because you can always sit on the pillow. You can always sit on the floor. You can always stand up. So the chair is grace because we're really not asking for it. It, by law, simply, it's just given to us. And when we can find that kind of space and being simple about it and just wanting it, and daring ourselves just for the sheer sake of being alive and happy for no reason, and you supplicate to the universe, this is what is a mirror reflection, a mirror call. And I'm using this miracle, this experience, just so I can dream with my eyes open. And we begin to get out of the fog. We begin to get out of the fact that we assume that everything that we think is possible for us, if we're lucky or fortunate or deserving of it, we think it's all, even of that, we think it's even distant from us. So we get issue compounded on top of issue. That is not how we begin to awake. What do you have to lose? Better. What do you have to win? All of it. The golden ring is reachable. In fact, it's right there, right under your nose, as I just said. Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you sense it? Can you dream your fire into existence in this holy instant? Let me ask that question again. Can you dream your fire into existence in this holy instant? I say you can, because you are doing it right now. Everything that is happening to you is happening via your mastery as dreamer. Everything that is happening to you is happening via your mastery as dreamer. Whether you like what you're getting or not, conscious or not, you are a master dreamer. So all that is required is saying yes to yourself, saying yes to you, with just a simple shift from within. Check this out. Try this. I'm sitting in my chair or laying in my bed, whatever it is you're doing, listening to Keith's presentation. Hello, by the way. Take an inventory. I'm sitting in my bed, sitting in a chair, listening to Keith's presentation. All right, let's go deeper. I'm going to pull you further into the rabbit hole. Keith, this is a simple parlor trick. It is not. It's called reality. A different reality, a different dimension of spirit. As we are created in the image, the imagination, and likeness of God, as we think, feel, and do, we manifest. So let's get closer to the aspect of spirit that lives in us, so when we become conscious of the same power that creates our life more unconscious and brings us misery. How easy is that? There is nothing that can be more simple and farthest from the truth, because it is the truth. If God is omnipresent and everywhere, but we're just living in our head, when we make the intention just to simply fall into the gate, the womb, the cosmic womb where everything is birthed, the heart, the sacred heart, what Jesus pointed to. This is what you do. I'm sitting in my bed, or I'm sitting in the chair watching Keith's broadcast. Now take what you think is your consciousness, your hearing, your eyes, all that stuff, because most of the sensory objects are located in the head, and drop it. Drop it right there. Just drop it right there. I don't know if I can just drop it right there. It falls. Boom. And now you feel like you're sitting in the middle of your chest, and you're seeing and experiencing your reality from here. You did it. That is it. That is the gate. This is sleeping. That is dreaming. That is how you shift, making that simple shift from being sleeping to awake. From the Divine Principle, my bestseller. Anchoring Heaven on Earth. 8 years in the making. I wanted it. And my desire woke me up from sleeping to dreaming. This is the soundtrack, Lavender Soul. We're coming out with a brand new album. We're going to start writing a new album soon. My children's book series about my beautiful son. And this book, For the Love of God, A Spiritual Journey, took me 15 years. A story about this man I went and see in India in the year 2000. It took me 15 years. I wanted it. And it's not about writing a book or doing something for 15 years. It's about the fire that you have that can happen in that simple shift. Do you mean, Keith, dear Lord, could it really be that easy? I am telling you, that is the only way. Not could it, but that is the only way. Is to get out of the fighting. I deserve it. It's my turn. And if, look at the fire that exists in me as I'm bringing this presentation through. Find that fire in you, that fuel, and turn it up and live in it. This is Dialogue from the Divine Principle, my conversation with God for quite a few years. I ask, Spirit, why do I only have these way out experiences when I'm sleeping and not when I am awake? God says, because during sleep you lose the very awareness of your body that you need to stay in it. And because as long as you are sleeping, you cannot be lured into the temptations of the external world that your mind and body crave. This is not only about sleeping at night. This is also about our supposed waking state and everyday life. Because during sleep, you lose the very awareness, even when we're sleeping, when our eyes are open. Because during sleep, we lose the very awareness of your body that you need to stay in it. And because as long as you are sleeping, you cannot be lured into temptations of the external world that your mind and body crave. Excuse me, that was speaking directly about sleeping at night. But you flip-flop that, and that has to do with about us sleeping when we're awake to this reality, to this dimension. I say to Spirit, sometimes I have dreams, powerful. Sometimes I have dreams that seem so real that I wake up thinking I was actually there. Let's apply that to the waking world. Sometimes I have dreams within myself, dreams we all want to realize in our life that are so real. Sometimes we have these little epiphanies and we wake up actually thinking we were there, that this is actually going to happen. So now let's go back again and apply this to the sleeping scape. I say to Spirit, sometimes I have dreams that seem so real that I wake up actually thinking I was actually there. And God says, you were. I was. Keith, if you are not there, where were you? But aren't dreams just metaphors for something else? And your life on earth is not? I see your point. You are dreaming right now, dear one. You may think just because your physical eyes are open that you are awake. But even when they are open, there is a part of you that still sleeps. I say, this dream versus reality thing is still confusing. Spirit, I shall effort to clear it up then. When you have a dream, it is a dream, and at the same time, it is not. In your waking state of consciousness, when everything seems too tangible, that too, to be tangible, that too is a dream. The reality is that both provide you with experiences that are integral to your growth. The dichotomy is that since both are dreams dreamed from my mind, everything in your waking and sleeping life is an illusion as well as real. I understand that, but if I'm faced with two scenarios, how can I decide which one is higher and which one is lower? Your ability to differentiate between the two is what makes one more real than the other, and that is what I mentioned about staying in feeling and using feeling as your barometer. The one that you decide is a closer representation of me is the higher reality. The other is more likely to be the illusion or the lower reality. But keep in mind, this is only relative because the decision between higher and lower can vary from person to person. And even though you deem something to be either real or illusory, do not lose sight, awake, dream, do not lose sight of the real truth that God is the dreamer behind both. Remember this, and the you that sleeps with your eyes open will truly awaken to see my reality. We always heard it called to realize a dream. When I went to India to see that man written about in this book, he came to me in a dream. He came to me in a dream, tapped me on my leg, woke me up into a state of consciousness when I was sleeping, and said, come to India, Keith. And I said, how will I get there? He said, Keith, 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 Keith. You still don't believe I am who I am. Basically. Put all this aside. I will take care of it all. I woke up the next morning wondering how I was going to get there. Never been out of the country. Don't know how to go about getting a passport. Where will I get the money? How I'm going to put this all together. I had a dream. 3 months later, when I'm in his ashram, the back row, because I got there late because my cab just drove up and they said, run, run, run. This holy man is about to come out. When he came out of that gate on the west, that little 5'1" top man of towering spiritual divinity, I was pinching myself. Is this real? And it dawned on me, oh my God, literally and metaphorically, I just had a dream realized. It happened. I had no part in it. I did because of all my asking to God, Jesus, Buddha, the universe, higher consciousness, the source of love, the source of peace, whatever we want to call it, is irrelevant. I opened myself up by shifting, as I mentioned a little earlier. It's a shift. It is a simple shift, and the door will crack open, that golden door, and your life will be flooded with beyond what you can even dream, simply by dreaming. Does everyone dream when they sleep? Spirit says yes. But why doesn't everyone remember their dreams? This can be applied to reality, what we call reality. Spirit says, because many do not like what they see when they dream about their life. So they subconsciously shut themselves off from remembering them. They shut themselves off from remembering the times in their life that they made those choices. And they want no conscious part of accepting that they're the ones that made that choice, conscious of it or not. Even if you're conscious of it when you made the choice, and then later we go into denial when the reflection of it, the miracle, even the thing you really don't want is called a miracle, because it is the unconditional wishing tree. It's grace saying, here's more of what you said you wanted, even though you really don't want it. The universe does not operate that way. The universe operates by saying, you asked, you get. Because many do not like what they see when they dream at night, when they're sleeping, but also when they dream about their life. So they subconsciously shut themselves off from reality, from waking up, from being in dreaming status, conscious dreaming status versus sleeping with our eyes open. And I asked Spirit, what's the difference between an out-of-body journey and a dream? You must understand there's no such thing as out-of-body. But what about in death? The soul does not leave the body leaves the soul. Or said another way, the body is no longer animated, at least in the time frame of that person's life. However, the reality of that person's past remains active in the universe, and so does his or her body. So does his or her experience that they stuck out into the universe only to be called back to them later. Hello, Trey. Hello, Dr. Steve Stone. Hello, Joel, Carolyn, Jesse, Joe, Sue, Trey, John. So we shut ourselves off from our experiences because I don't want to own that creation. God lives here. Everything we think about our lives is the filter. God's job is to unconditionally, lovingly push that light, emote that light. In fact, God really does not hand us anything. God just shines his creative life force through everyone selflessly and says, here's all of it. All of it. The filter is stifling the light, the pure light, which has everything inherent in it. God is unconditional love, and it expresses that through us and says, this is what you are. This is what you can have. How clear are you about your life? The conversation between God and I continues. So no one ever really dies. What happens in an out-of-body experience or in death is that one's consciousness shifts to another dimension of the spirit. It's not only about out-of-body, it's about being out of touch with ourselves while we're in this body when our eyes are awake. What happens in an out-of-body experience or in death is that one's consciousness shifts from another dimension of spirit, from the head to the heart. That is what creates the sensation of movement or flying. In either case, you really do not go anywhere except deeper within. We go either deeper within the mind and into the monkey-minded noise, or deeper within the heart, deeper into the stargate, deeper into the cosmic womb, deeper into the threshold, and we begin to knock on the golden door consciously. In either case, you really do not go anywhere except deeper within. But now that we're speaking about sleeping scapes, Because the soul is everywhere and everything. That is still true in the waking state. The soul is everywhere and everything. God is the soul. And we join the soul as individuals, divine ego, if you will. This is you. This is me. This is your brother. This is the person next to you. This is your cousin. We think we're separate because we're looking at all the space between it. That is not the truth. Look where we connect, at the knuckle. This would be called the Christ. This would be called the Buddha. This would be called the lotus flower. That which is divine and lives and exists and dwells within every human being. So the connection goes from us to this physical plateau all the way inside of us until we join in unity consciousness, until we join, as you heard before, until we join in spirit with that which is already perfect. And we do that by getting out of judgment. We do that by getting out of fear. We do that by getting out of fighting with the world, fighting with the politics, fighting with the drama. And it's not about getting out of that stuff. That's watering the weed. But instead, I'm going to water the plant because this is now what I choose. This is how we wake up and become the dreamers. Consciously, deliberate dreamers. The difference between an out-of-body experience and a dream is that one is an experience of another aspect of the soul, and the other is an experience of the mind and its many ideas. This is a baseball bat. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, that's a great thing. People play baseball, recreational sports with it. Well, not really. This one killed someone last night. Well, that's bad. Well, no, not really. It killed someone in defense of a woman who was being attacked. Well, that is great. Well, no, not really. We can play the game all we want. The devil and the angel. Yak, 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 yak. That's what the mind does, as what was just read. The other is an aspect of the soul, and the other is the experience of the mind and its many ideas. And when we get out of the right and wrong, the good, the bad, the hot, the cold, get out of duality, 3D reality, we begin to move into fourth and dimensional states of consciousness. I ask, does everyone have out-of-body jaunts nightly? You all go somewhere else to learn about yourselves and the universe, but not everyone remembers these trips. Why not? Is it for the same reason that people don't want to remember their dreams? Because of what happened? Because of what happened while they were out wasn't a pleasant experience? No, not always. I don't understand. If they had a good experience, why wouldn't they want to remember it? Good question. A person has to pass through their mind before they can get back to the body. That is where things get a bit twisted, and that is why they dream scary dreams. I see there is mental confusion. Yes, but it is for good cause. When someone's consciousness returns to the body, the mind must paint pictures to try to explain what they have just experienced on their journey. This is not an easy task. When nothing in their mind represents anything that they may have experienced while they were out, not only out of body, but out of touch with life. To many people, that is just downright frightening. I could see so much of myself in that explanation. Well, that's good, Keith. Take it all in and do the work that is required to free yourself from your fears so that you can truly awake. What does it mean to be truly awake? One moment, I need some water. Hello, Carlos Mendozabo, Carl Lapros, Phyllis, everyone who I didn't get to and acknowledge, thank you for being here. Kayleen, let me see who's here. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to continue with this dialogue. I have a small piece, maybe another paragraph, and we'll be done with the reading segment, and we'll take a Q&A. You are spiritually awake when you no longer need to fall asleep to experience your soul. You are spiritually awake when you no longer need to fall asleep to experience your soul. And once you are illuminated, you will not experience a loss of your awareness during the time your body needs to rest. And I ask, is there a difference between enlightenment and being awake? Spirit says, enlightenment is the process of awakening. Awake is the constant awareness that happens as a result of any true understanding. Once you realize something, it can never be unrealized, for it is impossible to do away with what you know. Your ongoing expansion just keeps on going. What will happen after I awaken? You will find yourself in another reality, another dream. That will continue until you graduate to dreamer status, become conscious of God realization. And I say, you mean there is more to do after I awaken? As I have said before, my reality is for those who really want it. Yes, the road is a long one, and it will take time. But that road will eventually lead you to eternity. And when you get there, all of your struggles will be forgotten. Lots of metaphors in the dialogue I've read. The dialogue was truly meant. It was a conversation I had with God about actually sleeping and what happens to us in sleepscape. Out of body, traveling, and all this kind of cool stuff. And I had no idea this picture how it was going to paint metaphorically, but also literally how it applies to our life when we are sleeping with our eyes open versus consciously, deliberately dreaming with our eyes open. Hello, Debbie Rogers. They are the same. So if you're just coming into this broadcast, and if you watch this presentation from the beginning, you will shift simply from the mind to here. Again, if you're new to this broadcast, try it. Take this moment to recognize all of my sensory objects are in my head. And we think that's where we live and dwell. That's not the truth. As you breathe in and you exhale, let your consciousness fall right there into the gate, the stargate, into the cosmic womb, to the road to God. Find yourself sitting here and dwelling here. And you open your eyes and you see yourself projecting from the center of your chest. You are doing it. Every day, all day long, as often as you can. Just go about your day from this perspective versus this one. That alone is enough to change the entire dynamic of your life. Not because you are broken, just because you desire and deserve a greater expansion that brings about everything from the exterior to everything from the interior. Because it goes from inner to outer, not outer to inner. When I get this thing on the outside, I'm going to be happy. There's a better way. The only way is when I am this thing, by universal law, that is my new filter, an unconditional God that shines through everyone, passes through that filter, and you get. You go to a movie theater, the white light bulb inside of the canister, inside of the housing, has no judgment on the matter of the movie that it's going to expose itself through. It does not. It unconditionally loves being in the projector. We are the projector. We project. Shines white light, creative light, pure white light. And if you're watching a comedy, and that's the filter, the comedy happens on the screen. If you're watching a horror flick, and that is what is happening in your life to any degree, you have to change the film because Creator is forever going to shine through you. That is cosmic law. It's cosmic law. Get out of rules. Rules apply to the head. The law applies to that which creates everything and sustains it for eternity. That's why God is not judgmental. That's why God is not upset about what you do. Hello, Alex Perez. Hello, Debbie. I did say hi, Debbie. Well, double hello to you, Debbie. And it just shines. And it grants you every wish because it loves you. And it's non-judgmental. And so the law, karmic law, reap what you sow, comes around, goes around. Every action is an equal opposite reaction. Doesn't matter what we call it. It's divine order. It's the law. So everything is sustained and created by this law. Because if God had to judge not only 7+ billion human beings, but every creature around the universe and the universes for their misdeeds, it would become so stressed out. His own spirituality would inevitably break down. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? God just sits back and exists in absolute eternal bliss and says, when we are ready, open up that gate, live in your own spiritual fire. Stop saying no. Stop saying don't. Stop saying not. Stop watering the weed and shift to the plant and say to yourself, dear Lord, dear Lord, dear Lord, yes, 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 that is my life. That is what I deserve. And I'm going to make a shift. And you fall here. And you implement this simple God-given technique. And your life will begin to manifest in a holy instant. Because you will feel the shift occur in your body, in your thought process, in your emotional base. Your emotional base is your barometer. And when you find yourself not in joy, don't beat yourself up or judge yourself for not doing it. Just go, make the shift. Get back into joy. Stay into joy. But you can also use your contrast as a way to reflect to you that which you truly now desire. This is what I've been saying. No, not, don't to. Just shift. Simply shift. Thank it. Be present with it. Expand yourself. Dear Lord, watch what happens. You apply these techniques I brought through this broadcast tonight. And I'm asking you, if you're just joining this feed at some point, or if you were here for the duration, you put these principles into motion. Week. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen right now. A month. Let's say a month. And when it does happen to you, at play, at work, driving in the car, and something reminds you of this broadcast, and you shift, and you catch yourself shift, you can bet your ass a day or two, a week or two, that mirror call, that self-reflection mirror call, because we call to us, we also call it a miracle, is going to reflect to you that which you became conscious of that you called your shift. And you will contact me and say, dear Lord Keith, this has happened. I am starting to believe you. And now that your conviction elevates, the things that happen within you and within your life elevate. And this begins to happen, and this begins to happen, and this begins to happen. And now you're living on purpose, and you're living on automatic pilot. Merrily, 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 your life is but a dream. You get to live consciously inside the live stream. That is my presentation for the night. I'm glad you jumped on board and are here with me. If you have anything you want to bring forth, a question or a comment, please do that. Hello, Tattoo. And everyone, as I said before, please hear me in the way it's intended. I will not be liking your comments in this forum. I will love them, but silently. And the reason I will not, no, let's get out of not. The reason I will like them silently is because I choose, it's catchy. It's a catchy dynamic. I choose my work to be visible instead of spammy. And liking a lot of posts tends to make one invisible to the masses. This is my life's work as to why you would understand what I am bringing forth to you. But by all means, please bring something forth in the comment box, because I can speak them, and it will also help other people who may be in a dynamic of wanting something to a greater capacity, or simply just want to move through a block. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my living room. I have my shoes off But my feet are double socked because I have to have my heater off. As you can see, I live in a guest house. And this whole house or this microphone would rumble. And so I have my oven, which is right there, on broil, 500 degrees with the door open. Funny, isn't it? But that's what I need to do to stay warm. Let me refresh this page. Amy says, mine are real. Remember a lot of them. I'm assuming she's speaking about her consciousness, what happens to her in dreamscape. Allie says, take one step towards me and I will take 1,000 towards you. That sums up the entire broadcast. Good night, y'all. Very good, Allie. Hello, Jesse. What's up, bro? Sue says, passion and creativity and peace. I want equanimity for real. LaDonna says, peace, serenity, happiness. And you see, under that umbrella is everything. It's all of it. True to all of it. Let me look at YouTube, see if any of my friends up are. So welcome to the Ice Capade tonight, because we are having ice and snow. So I'm snowed in. And if you would, anyone, if you choose, please feel free to share this broadcast to you all. Help my work become visible. It helps many people. I'm all about expressing and bringing love and joy and expansion to people's lives. It's my life. So let me see if anyone brought anything forth since then. All right, I'm going to stay to the top of the hour. I like keeping it right at an hour. Let me acknowledge everyone who's here. Allie, Fran, LaDonna, Sue, Amy, and Alex. Wow, there's 3 A's in here. An F, an L, and an S. So I have some affluenza. If I make your first letter an acronym. Final refresh. Y'all, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Always, there are some links in this feed, in the comments. Please share those. If you can, go to youtube.com/Center of Light Radio. If you can do that one thing. Subscribe to my page. Share something here or there. It means the world to me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. Your presence in my life is monumental. It's everything. Peace, love. Stay warm. And always live in the beautiful holy light. It is the breath that is moving through your body right now. Try it. Just think about that. As you take your next breath, your sincere, intentful, spiritual breath, is that God moving through me right now when I do that? God breathed life into man. Oh my God. God is palpable. It's on my tongue. It is in my air passageway. And next thing you know, you begin to move energy. And you can feel it. Dear Lord, you can feel it. And we'll get out of struggle and fight and difficulty. We get out of being asleep to all that's around us. And we become just awake. Feel it. Take a breath right now. Take a juicy, dear Lord, I love breathing. Seriously, breathe with that spirit. And you will feel spirit breathe back into you. That same glorious love. You feel it. That's the fertile ground. That's where you truly exist. That is your essence. Everything else is sleeping with the eyes open. Get back to dreaming consciously with your eyes open. I love you.